Hey everybody, Board Bob. So, as you can see, our nuclear power is cooking right along. You can see we still are not using any of our steam turbines at all. Our nuclear power is covering all of our needs quite nicely, with plenty in reserve. Let's get down here and look. We're getting a fair amount of fuel built up, but as you can see, we're pretty sparse on our ore. But we've got a fair amount of fuel built up, so I think we're going to be just fine with it. I'll show you in a minute. We've already had one patch completely run out. The other ones are getting fairly low. But between the last video and this one, off camera, I did a bit of biter clearing. So let's go look at the map real quick and I'll show you what I've done. Alright, so if you'll remember, we had this wall here. I went ahead and squared this off, and in doing so, you notice down here I put a radar down here. You notice how this is opened up down here. There is a great big patch right there, excuse me, 757k of uranium ore. We are definitely going after that. There's another fairly large patch, but this is close enough that we're definitely going to grab hold of that. Excuse me, dang. We got a little tiny small patch here, 28k. Like I say, this one is completely emptied out already. We still got about 5k here. We got, a little bit over here. We got 6k. We got one someplace else that we're pulling from. Oh, way up here. Got 38k. I believe that's 38k. Yep, 38k. And we got the one down here for 39k. So we've got a little bit. At some point, though, we're going to go clear these guys and grab this, and we're going to take advantage of this shore, or these ponds, I guess you will. They're not or lakes. They're not really oceans. I mean, we've got this huge territory with no real natural barriers until we start getting up into here. But as you can see, we've really kind of expanded over here. The other thing I did, if you'll notice, is I started to walk this up. Like I had said before, I don't like these inside corners. I prefer to have outside corners, so I'm going to definitely be cleaning those up. The other reason that I'm looking at this area here is because if you look, there's a nice stone patch here, there's an iron ore patch here, and there's a stone patch here. And I'd like to go ahead and set up right over in this area some concrete production. We're going to need water, so we'll be able to pull water from up here. We'll be able to pull water from down here, but we're going to want to start some concrete production over here because we're going to really start laying some concrete here soon. But in the interim, what we're going to do today is we have a few construction projects that I want to get done today. And what I did is I tried to get myself a little more organized than I was last few videos with regards to construction projects. So if we go up here, what I have done is I have a series of chests, and each of these chests is a pending construction project, and it's all the materials needed for those construction projects. I went ahead and sat down and figured out what I need for each one, and that way I can go ahead and do them, and I have all the resources right there. I'm not having to scramble. So first thing, let's get some tech started. And we're just going to go ahead and, like I say, what we were doing before, we're just going to click on them and keep headed up there. Eventually, we definitely want this Covarex because I don't know if you guys noticed when we were over there, we're getting a lot of used fuel cells, and we're getting a lot of waste material. So we want to really kind of start getting into that. So let's go ahead and grab this first chest. And this first chest is long-handed inserters and wooden chests. Now you kind of wonder, well, what are you going to do with just long-handed inserters and wooden chests? Well, we have everything else we need on hand, or I do believe. Let's see, we got splitters. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, as I was saying before, now it's caught up because I really haven't done a whole lot of manufacturing lately, so this is all caught up and it's all filled in for the most part. but we're starting to have problems with throughput on our ores. And that's not so much an issue of furnaces, it is an issue of slow belts. Everything we've done so far, we've used red belts, or yellow belts rather. So we are going to build ourselves some blue belts this time, blue belts, excuse me, we don't have blue belts yet. We're going to build some red belts. And we don't need a whole huge manufacturing complex like this for that, but we definitely want some red belts. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started on a red belt factory. And what we need for red belts and red undergrounds and red splitters is belts, gears, and green circuits. So we already have all of those up here on the bus. We got belts, we got green circuits, we got gears, we got plates, we got everything we need. Let's find a big one so that we're not getting interrupted for a little bit here. Well, 300's the biggest we got. Well, okay. You know what? Gun turret damage. Let's get some more gun turret damage. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to split off from all of these and go ahead and start pulling these down where we need them. So we're going to need to pull our green belts off. We're going to need to pull our regular belts off, our green circuits and our regular belts off. So let's go ahead and pull off of our belts. And where do we want to do that? Let's see. How about we do that right here? Yeah, we'll do it right. Yeah, we'll do it right here. Right, and then we'll come over one, and we'll go. Oh, let's see. So then, yeah, we'll go down one, and then we'll do here, and we'll bring that down. All right, so we'll bring it down to there, and then we'll go from there on where we actually want to put it. Right? So there's our belts. And the next thing we're going to want to look at is our gears, because that's the next thing we need kind of the most of, and it's right there. So we can kind of, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's put that there and put that there. And then we can split this here, right? So there we go. Now we got, oops, reconnect that. So we got belts, we got gears. What else do we need? We need green circuits, and we need plates. Now we don't need a whole lot of those because we only need those for our splitters, right? So we don't need a whole lot of those. We can probably put them on one belt. We need some plates for undergrounds, but again, we're not going to really be taxing this system too much. So let's put the greens and the green circuits and the iron plates all on one belt, shall we? So let's see. Let's split this off here. We'll extend all of these by one. All right, there it is. So there's the green coming down, and then we're going to want belts. Now we've picked off this lower belt a couple of times now, and if you notice when we were doing production, this lower belt got really sparse, and the upper belt had a metric crap ton on it. So we are going to pick off of the upper belt this time. We want to kind of try and keep things as balanced as we can. Yeah. Oops. So let's pick off that upper belt this time, and we want to go down next to the other belts that we've already got here. So let's see. If we go, yeah, here, and we go, let's see something here for a minute. We come down here, and we go here, and we go here, and we go, okay, so that's coming there. All right, let's do this. Duh. Let's try this, shall we? All right, that's coming out of there, right? Over, down, over, up, over, down, down. And then comes, can we reach? Yes, we can reach. All right, and there we go. So, and then this comes down. So that should give us, there we go. That's everything that we need for our for producing this stuff. Now, I think what I'm also going to do is I think I'm also going to double up the gears and the belts as well. We really don't need that many, I don't think. So let's do this. Let's put that there. Give ourselves some space. We need, yeah. Let's do. Ooh, you know what? All right, there we go. All right, so now we want a second double belt here, and the reason I want to do this is because I can use a long-handled inserter to get to this one, and I can use the short inserters to get to this one, and that will give me the ability to grab off of both of these, I think. So if we go here, 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 and we come down here, here, and here, there we go. So that gives us that, right? And then what we're going to do, and I kind of planned this all out to a certain extent already. I'm just trying to remember how I came up with this plan, because I already kind of had a plan when I went and got all this materials gathered. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right here and trying to remember what exactly I was doing at the time. And I think I did this because this was going to be our red belts, and we've already got, because for red belts we only need yellow belts and gears, so that will give us our yellow belts and our gears for red belts. And this is what we're going to need the most of, probably, so we're just going to do that. We'll come out to a chest, and I'm going to use these ones because they don't hold a lot, but we don't need a lot, and that'll be our kind of our limiting factor for those anyway. So then let's do this. So now this and this, and we're going to make this one our yellow undergrounds, and our yellow undergrounds need plates and underground belts, right? So if we do a short-handed inserter and a long-handed inserter, we can grab our belts, we can grab our plates, let's bring this down to here because they're going to need access to it. That will give us our underground belt, our underground. You know what? Let's not do that. If we need yellow ones, we'll have plenty when we go pick stuff up. All right, so that will give us our red undergrounds, and for red undergrounds we need the yellow undergrounds and we need gears. So gears are over there. We need another long-handed. That'll give us gears. That gives us everything we need for red undergrounds, and then we just need to take them out, put them in a chest. Again, I'm using one of these small wooden chests. There's no sense not. So that gives us those. That gives us those. Now we just need our splitters. And again, we'll do the exact same thing here and here, because they're pretty much need the same supplies, except with the exception of splitters need the green circuits on top of needing the other two items. So green circuits, we need green circuits, and we need that. And I'm not really worried about speed with these because you know, we don't need a lot of splitters as it is anyway. I mean, we'll use them, but we certainly don't need a metric crap ton of them with any kind of a quickness. So that gives us our yellow splitters. Our yellow splitters are going to go into making our red splitters, and our red splitters need electronic circuits and gears. So we need a short one and a long one. Short one and a long one. And now all we need is power. Oops, and we need a Gozada. Let's put a Gozada in first, and another small chest, and there we go. And there's more research. So there. So now, one there, and one there, and there we go. So now we should be making red belts, undergrounds, and splitters. And we're just going to let those build up because we are going to go ahead and start replacing belts later. We're not going to do that right now. We have other fish to fry, but I wanted to go ahead and get that started so they start building up, and so you guys could see what I was going to do. And that's really, I think, all the more we need for those. For now, I don't foresee us needing, you know, tons and tons of them. Definitely belts. I mean, we're going to need a lot of belts to replace all these lines, but we'll replace them as we replace them, and we'll go from there. So that's got us going on there. So there is our what do we got going here? Oh, okay, because that's the curved pipes. Never mind. We never hooked that back in. So that's got us going for our first project. So let's go over here and pick up our project chest now that it's empty. Ta-da! Okay, so now this next one is for the yellow assembler 3s, because we need the yellow assembler 3s to make our refineries. So we want a yellow assembler 3. So yellow assembler 3 requires the following items. It requires speed modules and it requires blue assembling machines. So the first thing we need to make is speed module 1s, and they require green circuits and red circuits. And if I did this right, I should have the right number of each of these to make the number of speed circuits that or speed modules that I need. A little slow today on the thinking thing. I don't know why, but I am. So then that will give us the refineries, and we have the materials set aside for the refineries. The other thing we can go ahead and start making now is the next project after that, and that project is tanks. We are going to start setting up our permanent fluid production, and we are going to need tanks for that. So let's do this. Let's put a chest for it goes into chest and it goes out of chest, and put in inserters and just dump all of this stuff right on in there. Let it start producing and kicking them out, because as you can tell, we're going to be making a bunch. And we're going to be making a bunch because I know kind of what I want to do with them. All right, so there we go. So I miscounted by 8, apparently. That's okay. I'll take it. So now we want research. Now we want to do build our refinery. Well, no, actually what we want to do is build our yellow assembly machine, because the yellow assembly machine is what we need to build our refinery, unless we want to build it by hand, and then we lose because, 111. So yellow assembly machine, speed modules, and 2 assembly 2s. We have our assembly 1. Then pick all of that up, put our assembly 3 right back down, and tell it that we want to build refineries, right? So now we need all the stuff to build refineries. Well, if I had it all put aside, I could just do this, and then we could just throw it all in there. Oh wait, that's why I did what I did, because I didn't want you guys to have to sit around and watch me fart around with it forever and a day. So there we go. So now we're building our refineries. And as you can see, we're going to be building more than one. We're going to build a few. Let's pick these chests up. We don't need them anymore. Now, the next thing we are looking at is, as you can see, I don't have any more armor right now. I went around and killed a bunch of biters and wore out my armor, but at the same time I did not want to build just regular armor. Since we have the opportunity to do it, or since we have to build armor anyway, I thought let's build power armor. Now the thing is, for power armor we need blue circuits. Blue circuits require sulfuric acid and then a bunch of red and green advanced circuits. So there we go. And then when we go to make the actual power armor itself, we need to set aside just the engines and stuff like that, which we've already got. So we'll just grab all of this stuff. We will sit this factory down. I think we can maybe do it right here to build our blue circuits. And if we do this, will it connect in? Yes, it will connect in. Awesome sauce. So then we just need something to put it in temporarily. Do that. Do that. Oops. Won't work there. Do it here. And here. Throw in all of these. And that will start producing our blue circuits. Yes? Yeah, okay, so there we go. So that's going to start doing that. All right, we got our refineries done. And apparently I miscounted a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so let's grab that up. We now have our 5 refineries. So while these are cooking along, let's, how are we doing on these? All right, yeah, we're doing okay. We got 13 of them. We're cooking along. So now, power armor. We are going to want batteries for our power armor. So let's do this project next. Let's build ourselves some batteries. Now, we could build battery ones, and they don't take much at all to build battery ones. But I figured since we have the ability to do the Mark IIs, why not go ahead and do the Mark IIs? So I set aside enough stuff to go ahead and start doing the Mark IIs. So let's grab all of that out of there. You know what? Before we do that, we don't want to start getting ahead of getting excess stuff that we don't want. Let's put that up there, because that'll mess our count up, and that'll mess our count up, right? So let's set that. Oh, that we're going to need, yeah, for the suit itself. You know what? Let's put them put them there. That way we'll have them for the suit. We won't have to make a mistake with it. All right, so there's that stuff. All right, so let's grab all of this up. All right, and again, we got to make some blue circuits. We're already making them up there, but we're going to use them for that for another project. Let's not short ourselves any. Let's keep our projects separate. So reds and yet greens. Set that for blue circuits and let it go. Oops, you know what? I screwed up. We need sulfuric acid for that, so we gotta come over here and set it up over here closer. We're gonna have to set it here. Yeah, that'll work. Blue circuits, and then we can. Oh no, we can't. We can't put it there. Where can we put it? Let's see. Can we put it here? Will it hook in? No, it won't hook in there. It'll hook in up here though. Kind of got ahead of myself. When I figured these out, I did it all one at a time, so I didn't think about two connections. But that's okay. Adapt and overcome, right? So, Gazinta, Gazauta, green circuits, red circuits. There we go. So now we got both of them building circuits. How are we doing over here? Alright, so that's cooking right along. And that's cooking right along. How are we making out? Oh yeah, we still got a few left. Alright, so we are going to be making ourselves some batteries. The other thing we're going to be making, if we've got the suit, we want to have robots, right? So in order to have robots, we're going to need what? We are going to need a personal roboport, and we're also going to need robots. Well, to get robots, we're going to have the robot frames, and then we got to build the robots, right? So robots or roboports require red circuits, gears, plates, and batteries. And red circuits, gears, plates, and batteries, right? So let's grab our red circuits, let's be careful with this though, we don't want to mix stuff. So let's go ahead and throw them down here. Alright, let's put ourselves down a factory. Put ourselves a piece to come out. And we want, where's our robot frames? There's our robot frames, right? Oh, nope, roboports first. We want roboports, my bad. Roboports, right? So, yeah, we're gonna want a chest to insert. So let's put a chest up here, and let's put it over here, and put that there, and then we can put all of that in a chest, and that's going to give us our roboport. That's the rest of the stuff for our suit, plus whatever extras we had. This was going to be for solar panels, because if we have batteries, we need to be able to charge them, and we're going to do that with portable solar panels for now, because we don't have the research for fusion. So we're going to need 5 solar panels, a red circuit, and a steel plate. So for solar panels, we need steel plate, green circuit, and copper plate. So let's start building our solar panels, right? So let's make ourselves some room down here, so again we don't get these mixed up between the two. because we want to keep them separate. There we go. So there's our solar panels, and we're going to need Factory to do that. Let's put it over here so we can have a Gazinta and a Gazouta. Solar panels. Yay! So, oops. We'll do that anyway since we need them. We'll put the rest of them in the chest itself. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Now, the reds we don't need, but I'm going to keep them there because we'll need them when we build the actual panels. And we'll just let that pump through. Our limiting factor is going to be our copper, so we should be fine with that. Did I just see? Ooh, wow. Alright, so looks like we have really ramped up our need for other things. So let's go ahead and reconnect this real quick, so we have some steam power going, because apparently we needs it. We have taxed our system a little because we got so many things building right now. So let's turn on some steam power, see how that does for us. Let them get up to operating speed and see how we're looking here now. All right. So, yeah, it's a good thing I kept them around for just that reason. So, can we do this? Yeah, we can do this because we had turned these ones off. We didn't want to turn the water off. We just moved turned the inserters the other way. So let's fire them up. Right. Pick up that piece of coal. We don't want to litter. Alright, so now that should start giving us, we should be better off here pretty soon. You know, we can crank this back up if we need. See how that's doing for us. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to pick back up on power. Okay, good. So we're okay. You know, if we need to, we can fire up another one. See how that does. Go down here and connect the other end. There we go. So that'll keep us. That'll have us okay while we're doing what we need. We're back down. We're plenty low. The accumulators are charging back up, so that's going to take some of the power until they get fired up. So yeah, is what it is. Okay, we'll just leave them run while we're doing this, because we did kind of add quite a bit to our production right here with all of these things that we're doing right now. So how are we looking? So it looks like this has finished itself up. All of these are gone. That's gone. So let's go ahead and pick this puppy up. And that gives us our first set of blue circuits. And that was for our power armor. So if we grab the rest of this stuff, right, we can sit this puppy down, and we can tell it to build power armor. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. The rest of those come back to me. How are we looking here? We're getting there. Almost done with these. Yep, almost done with those. Come on. There we go. So now we have dun, 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 power armor. Right? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All those slots that we can put stuff in. All right. So let's get rid of that chest. How are we looking here? All right. We're still building along there. How are we looking over here? Look, 2 robo ports and an empty chest. All right. So I must have counted that pretty much right, huh? Yay me. All right. So we picked that sucker up. Right? That gives us our 2 roboports that we can throw in here. Now we don't have any batteries yet, so you know we're kind of screwed on that. How are we looking here though? All right, how many did we end up with? 20. Yep, that's what we wanted. So let's grab all of this. Grab these. Reset this. We're going to have this build batteries. Or, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry, my bad. We're going to have this build solar cells. We're going to have this build as personal solar cells. All right, so we need our solar panels. We need our red circuits. And we need our steel plate. And that will start punching out personal solar panels. We're not going to make a lot. We're only making 4 of them. You know, they're not a lot. They don't provide a lot, 10 kilowatts, but you know, it's something to start with. So once we have those, we can move on from there. Still cooking down here. Yep, still cooking down here. I don't want to. I gave a pause on these other 2 because I don't want to start getting too far ahead of myself and end up forgetting where I was at. Let's go up here and check on our blue circuits. So we got that's empty, that's empty, that's empty, that's empty, and that gives us 40 blue circuits. Right? All right. So now we got that, and now we got our 4 solar cells. We can go ahead and change this, and this was what we wanted the solar cells for, or the blue circuits for, is that and that, and that will start giving us. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, we're gonna do this. My bad. We gotta make our Mark 1 batteries. Excuse me. First. Then we can make our Mark 2s. And our Mark 2 batteries take 10 Mark 1 batteries each. We're going to make 2 of our Mark 2 batteries. So we'll let that cook. Alright, and that will pump out our Mark 1 batteries. Alright, so we got that going. That's going to give us our batteries. We've already got our robo ports. We've already got our 4 solar cells, which is not a lot, but it'll be something. You know, it's a start. All I want really is some robots that we can start using to do our personal projects with, and start doing the things we need to do with, instead of building walls by hand and taking walls down by hand. So now we need, let's put this down here, because again we don't want to get them mixed up with this other stuff. So now we need to build the robots themselves, and for the robots we need robot frames, and then we need construction robots. So let's go ahead and build our robot frames first, and go over here where we're building everything else. Plop that down. Goes into chest, goes out of chest. Oops, missed it by 1, of course. And we're going to tell this to build, where is it? Robot frames. And for that we need batteries, steel plates, green circuits, and electric engines. We'll have that cook and let it bump out robot frames. How are we looking? We're getting there. Getting there. How are we looking here? Getting there as well. So, you know, we're trucking along. How's our power looking? Okay, we're back down to where we, you know, where we ought to be. This isn't producing much. We'll be able to back some of these factories down, or back some of these power plants down soon. We're probably going to have to build another reactor sooner rather than later. Let me go look and see what the water situation is like over here. Maybe we're straining the amount of water that needs to go to them. Maybe we're, you know, something's going on here. Looks like all of them have water. I mean, they're not doing too bad. How are they doing on steam? Yeah, they look all right. Look like we're doing okay. We probably had a bunch of biters come in and stress the accumulator system, and then that stressed the other stuff. Plus, you know, we added a bunch more lasers, so that does add to our load. We're going to be going through and cleaning up all of these inner ones once we get the batteries, because we'll be able to pick up all these walls. We'll be able to pick up all these lasers. Oh, and I did add a few radars that I didn't account for, because I added radars in these corners. So yeah, so it has taxed our power a bit. We're going to want to put a radar up here at some point as well. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like we're gonna probably need another power plant, but we now have some more fuel. So another reactor is not going to kill us. We got some up here that we're going to be able to access now. We got some over here we're going to be able to access now. We're starting to spread out a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit heavier concentrations of ore, I hope, because man, if that's all the uranium there is, then you know, we may at some point start having problems. But that's why we're going to research Covarex soon, as we can, because you know, we're going to want to recover the waste ore and the waste material and make more. How are we looking? Looks like we're trucking right along here. How's that look? There's 20. What did we say it took per? Takes 10 per. I wanted to build 2, so there's our 20. All right. The extras, I'm not sure what we had them for. We may have had them for something else, or I may have miscounted. Alright, so let's change this over to Mark IIs and throw in 2 Mark II batteries. So we want 20 of those, 40 of those, and there we go. So now that'll pop out the 2 Mark IIs. We can get rid of this chest, we can get rid of this inserter. How are we looking? Good, good, good. Cooking right along. Nothing else in that chest. We picked that chest up. We're working on our last ones. Alright, so there's one of them. There's our other one. We pick that up. And we can throw these in here as well. It's kind of a Tetris thing. You know, and as we get other stuff, we'll move this around. But yeah, we get to play Tetris a little bit. All right, so that should have given us. Yes, it did. There we go. Oh, only 9. Oh, way more in there. I was gonna say, I thought I had planned for more than 9. We're rocking right along with the tanks, though. That's good. The last thing we're going to do this time around is we're going to set up those tanks. Now this one up here, I have this one up here in case we had the time to get to it, but it's already surprisingly been 40 minutes, almost 45. But this is going to be for over in this area. Like I said, I'm going to set up some concrete production right here, and we need stone, we need iron, and we need water. I want to start producing concrete in abundance. Um, I know I've got that one little spot up there, but that's not going to be enough to meet my needs, and it's sucking off iron out of all this other stuff. Plus, it's sucking away stone for wall stuff. So I want to go ahead and start looking at jumping into concrete production in a big way. So we're almost done here, and we're almost done here. Nice. Now we got the batteries in, we got the solar cells in, they can start charging. I wish, and I don't know, maybe there is, I wish they had it set up that you could go back to your power grid and charge your batteries somehow. I mean, it just makes sense to me to have some sort of a charging station. You know, I know the solar cells and the fusion power, but shouldn't you be able to hook into your power grid when you're somewhere around your power grid and charge your batteries? I mean, we can do it with cars. Why can't we do it with the batteries in our backpack or whatever you want to imagine that is in this? All right, 50-50. There we go. So we are done with that. Pick that up. How are we doing here? We are almost done here. Cool beans. Looks like we got 5 more to go. Let's go ahead and do this then, so that we're not waiting on construction robots. We're going to want construction robots. Logistic robots we really don't need yet, because we don't have any roboports. We don't have any yeah, what am I thinking? Roboports, provider chests, etc., etc., etc. We don't have any of that stuff yet, so there's no sense in getting crazy with our robots until such a time as we have them. We're going to end up with some extra green circuits here that are going to go into these other robots as soon as this is done building the rest of these robot frames. What my goal was, a roboport will support 10 robots for the personal roboport, so I wanted 20 robots. I think I may have padded it a little bit so that I had a few extras, but I'm not entirely sure. No, I don't think I did. I think I just made enough to make the 20 for now. We'll make more as time goes on, but I just wanted to have some to be able to start cleaning these walls up with, and I didn't want to do that off camera. I didn't want to suddenly have, power armor and roboports and robots and things like that, and you guys scratch your heads and go, wait a minute, where'd they all come from? So I wanted to go ahead and do that on camera. So that was kind of what the big push for this episode was to get all those small pending projects out of the way, and to get our fluid systems started as far as setup. We're going to get the refinery set up, we're going to get the tanks set up, and we're going to go from there. The production for sulfuric acid and things like that, we've already got enough that it's covering us for right now. I'm not going to worry about putting that in this time around. We'll do it in a bit. So this will all stay. In fact, even the refinery itself will stay for now. We're going to locate the other refinery in a different location. So we're just going to leave that one right where it is for now. And what do you know, I counted right on those. Somehow I got 8 extra green circuits. That looks like pretty much all I got extra is some batteries, which I don't know how I miscounted on batteries. Unless I was doing my math wrong. I was probably doing my math wrong for the Mark II batteries. That's probably what the situation was. So anyway, so there we go. We got all of our robots. Not that we're going to be able to use them yet, because again, we're stuck in wind on charge. I may have to make some more solar cells. If I do, I'll make that off camera. I forget what these pull. Yeah, they're slowly charging up. Once they get charged up, uh, then the batteries themselves should start charging, and then we'll be able to start using robots. So it looks like I'm going to probably have to do a bunch more solar cells, and when I do, I will do them off camera. There's no sense boring you guys with that. So let's go down here. Now that we've got our items for our refinery, and as you can see, I came down here and I cleaned out a bunch of trees, because this is going to be our new area for fluid production. And what we're going to do, and this is probably going to seem like overkill to a lot of people, and I know it's going to be overkill, but I would rather have, I'm a firm believer in in have and not need, rather than need and not have. I tell my students that all the time with regards to movie making, because invariably you get out to a place and you forget something, or you need something, or whatever. So like I say, I would rather need and not have, or have and not need, than need and not have, right? So we are just going to go a little crazy with regards to our oil production. So the first thing we need is we need tanks for storage, right? Well, that's why I built 100 tanks, okay? Because we're going to do this. We're going to do 2 rows, and we're going to leave space between them, and we're going to, because we've already got a line coming in here, we're gonna set it up. We're gonna have our tanks, then we're gonna have our refineries, and then we're gonna have our other tanks. And our other tanks is where it's gonna look, like we've got huge overkill in some of them, and we do. But I want to have the overkill because I don't want to fill up the tanks and then production stop. I don't want to have to worry about that happening. So here's what we is going to do. Let's put it here. We're going to do 4. And you know what? Let's do 5. Now I just throw them down. I can rotate them to make them all connect. I'm throwing them down first, right? And we're going to do the same thing a second time. All right? And then we'll just go through and we'll rotate them to make sure they connect, right? So now everything should be connected. Now, I don't like to have to go all the way around a huge amount to get past something. So what I want to do is I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I want to do this. And then I'm going to, now this may be overkill, I don't, because they're all kind of the same line, but all still just all the same. I want to have redundancy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rotate, rotate, right? Rotate that. That one's connected. Rotate that. That one's connected. Rotate that. Right? And then that's connected. Rotate, rotate. There we go. So now these are all interconnected, and this is going to be our incoming oil. Later on down the line, we have these lines coming in from up here, and over here, but we've got oil all over the place. Later on down the line, my plan is to have trains come in, deliver the oil, and go on about their business. So they'll probably come in around this lake. We'll set up depots here for delivery for all of our different materials, and one of those materials is going to be crude oil. And we're also going to have them taking out sulfuric acid as we find these various deposits of uranium ore. So there we go. So we might as well, and we're gonna, and of course we gotta move 2 of them, right? Figures. All right, so we're going to need to move these 2 poles. let's do this though, so that we don't inadvertently cut our power while we're doing this. We don't want to kill our lasers or something like that. So there we go. So there, 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 there. Right? Right. Okay. So now we've got our oil coming into our tanks. The reason I did this here is twofold. One, it gives me a way to walk between these tanks without having to walk all the way down a huge line. Two, it's going to give me another place to tap into or to run lines past these if I need to, because this will reach from this to this, and I could take this out if I needed to and be able to run a line through here if I had to. I'm just trying to give myself some space to be able to work the system. So the next thing we want to put in is we want to put in our refineries, right? Now we're going to have to leave some space because we're going to connect to those, but we also have to bring water in from somewhere, right? So we want to leave, excuse me, some space on the back side of our refineries to do that if we need to. There's no sense, we've got, my gosh, we got a ton of room. There's no sense, you know, limiting ourselves on room right now when we don't need to. So we can even go down here a little bit further, and let's do that. Let's do one here. You know what? Let's avoid, if we can, let's avoid getting in the way of that. So let's do here, a space, a space, a space, and a space. There we go. So now we got all 5 of our refineries. So we got to come out of the refineries. Now how are we going to do that? Because we want to be able to feed all of our tanks and we want to be all interconnected. Well, let's tell it what we're going to make so we know where they're coming out of. And we know where our inputs are going to be as well. Because it sucks to get these all set up and then turn around and find out, oh gee, I'm coming in the wrong place. Because if you get water in an oil line or oil in a water line, you're tearing all of it back up. No sense doing that, right? So there we go. So now let's do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Whoops. 1. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. I'm going to do this with all of them. Right? So now this will go to this, we'll go to this, we'll go to this one, and that should be the last one. And the reason I had to put the space in here is if I put these next to each other, it's going to link these two together. If I bring a pipe out of here, it's going to link these two together. We don't want that. We want them to stay in their own places. And in their own pipes, right? So now, come down here. So now they are all interconnected, right? And they're all interconnected in such a way that there's going to be no cross-contamination or anything else. And we can run them out of there to wherever we need to run them to, right? So now we just need to bring our oil in and our water in on this other side. So let's do the same thing over here. Oops. Oh, we ran out of pipes. Alright, I guess that is the one thing I did miscount. I thought I had enough pipes. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have enough. Yes, I do. They're in the other crate with the ones for the for the concrete factory, but that's okay because we got a ton of them over here. We'll just pick these ones up. That'll give us plenty. Go back over here. Right, so that hooks up all of those. So now these can be piped into the appropriate places. And if I'd have spaced it right, which I didn't, of course, because I'm me, we could have done it in such a way. You know what? We can still do it. We're just going to move everything down by one. Do we want to do that and pull on? Yeah, you know what? We do. We're going to do that. I know. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh, you know what? Duh. That's what we did this for. Let's see if it'll do it for us. Let's see if we've got enough power. That's why I wanted robots. For the beauty of that right there, if nothing else. Just to be able to do that with them is awesome. Alright, so let's not screw this up this time. Let's line this up properly for this first one. Right? So then, let's do this. Now, if I was smart, which I never claimed to be, I would have made a schematic first, or a blueprint, whatever you want to call it, and just had the robots put these back down. But, me being me, I'm an idiot, and I did not do that. So now I'm having to do it by hand. But it won't take me long because I know what I want to do, and I know where I want to do it at. So, and we know we have the materials now to do it. Right, right. Right, okay. And water. And yeah, oil. Oops. Ta-da! And that should fit to that one, and that should fit to that one. Redundancy, like I say, I mean, I know I probably don't need it, but I like it. I like having the redundancy. Almost. There we go. All right, so now we just need water and power, right? Well, for the water, I am, let me see if I have enough. Oh yeah, I got plenty. I'm going to bring it in from down here. We've kind of cramped up the space up there enough. There's no sense in not, you know what, get out of my way. know that's draining what little battery power I have, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, there we go. And I do believe I should have, I don't, it's up in the other crate, a pump. Because I put it in the crate for the concrete thing, thinking, oh, I got a pump. Alright, so I lied to you guys apparently when I said, hey look, I got all these cool chests with everything set aside, blah blah blah. I sort of lied a little bit, but not, you know, not a lot. Actually I didn't lie, I was just stupid. But if you look at the fact that we had all this stuff together, we really kind of got a lot accomplished in a little bit of time this time around, because I didn't have to go running around looking for so much stuff this time. So all we need is to get this water hooked up, and then we can lay out our tanks. And we can see that our production has started. I think we got to power up the refineries too, but that's minor in comparison to everything else. Almost there. There we go. Boom. Now we have water. We're definitely going to have to work on getting ourselves some faster legs now that we've got the power armor. There's no sense not to. That's the other reason I want the concrete. You run a lot faster on concrete. Plus, now that we've got some of the infrastructure, if you will, ready, I want to start really kind of expanding things and work on some of our other projects, some of our good stuff, railroads, things like that. Alright, so now we have refineries. Woot woot. Alright, so all these extra tanks that we have, they are going to go for storage for our resources. So we've got petroleum gas, we've got light oil, and we've got heavy oil. And those are the things we need to store right now. Eventually, we're going to want to set up for lubricant, and we're going to want to set up for sulfuric acid. But for right now, let's set up for the ones that we do have coming out. That we know we got coming, right? And again, I want to give myself room. I don't want to fence myself in, and I want to provide myself with enough storage that I can not have to worry about oh wait, there it is. Let's see. Oh, that's the one I gotta turn. Alright, that's connected, and that's connected. Turn that one. There we go. Does it look like they're all connected? Alright, there we go. So again, I'm doing the same thing I did in the last one. Under, over, over, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I say, this is I'm sure overkill. Maybe not. But there is no sense in not having it. I mean, we've got the room, right? Right. So let's see that one. Oh, that one's all right. What did we not turn here? That turns in, turn in, and right, and then that goes there. Oh, we got them all hooked up now. Is it right? Is it the way it should be? It looks like it's the way it should be, right? Good. Awesome sauce. So guess what? Let's not be stupid this time. Let's do this. Ta-da! Then, let's go down here and line up with this. Is that going to give us... I want to do this. I want to have at least a tank worth of space between the two of them. Is that going to line us up where we want to be? No, of course it's not. So let's, again, we got room. If we got to put more tanks in, we can put more tanks in. Oh, did I bounce? Alright, let's bring this straight across. One more. There we go. Man, that is so much easier. I'm glad I got my robots. That makes me so happy. Daddy's happy now. Go, my children. Yeah. And you're in the way. I was in the way. It was mad at me. Alright, so now all we gotta do is connect these puppies up. Figures. Oh well. Figures. You know what? What I might do is this. What's halfway? Is that about halfway? Ish. There we go. So that goes to that, right? Look, that'll give us a way to tie in if we need to. Right? Right. There we go. So now, we go down here. I lined it up to the wrong thing, didn't I? You stupid SOB. Lined it up to the wrong one. And you guys probably saw me do that. You let me do it. Alright. At least they're not connected. Moving them once they got fluid in them, that's wasting a lot of fluid. It's a big loss. Hate to do that. Alright, let's try this again. We want to be hooked up to there because we want to be hooked up to the light oil, not the heavy oil. Well, okay. We may have been okay and screwed up. Right? So, light oil. Light oil. Light oil. Ain't that pretty? And one last time with the heavy oil. We want to be lined up with that. And you know what? Let's do that. There we go. Get out of a robot's way so we don't get trapped. Alright. So then we got heavy oil. Heavy oil. And there we go, guys. So, I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about being over full with oil for a while. And if we are, we have plenty of room to expand. So the other thing we're going to end up with, right, at some point, is we're going to end up with lubricant, and we're going to end up with sulfuric acid. So the lubricant, I'm trying to remember, takes heavy oil, and the sulfuric acid takes petroleum gas. So why not go ahead and set up the tanks for those, right? So there's a space there. How much is it? 2 spaces there, 3 spaces there. Oh well. You know what? Are they lined up right? Yeah, they're lined up right. That's all I care about. Alright, so the grass there. So we go above the grass. So this is going to be for our sulfuric acid. And we probably don't have enough tanks for it. But this is going to be for our lubricant. Yep, we're missing 14 tanks. Okay, we'll just have to make some more tanks. I'll do that off camera. You guys don't want to sit here and watch it build 14 more tanks. So there you go, guys. We have our fluid production set up. And the nice thing is, we've got room that if we need to expand our refineries, we can go, you know, a couple more this way and a couple more this way without really bothering that system. This can go way down here for storage if we need it to. These can go way over for storage. We got plenty of room for storage now. So that is going to work great. And then that also gives us plenty of room for actual manufacturing of things that require fluid. So there we go, guys. Eventually I'm going to have to go over here and tap this uranium. I may very well do that off camera. I know I'm going to do this one off camera. It ain't much, but at least it'll give us some. We are really running low in places. You know, and I'm going to set up my concrete manufacturing over here. I'll probably do that off camera as well. Alright guys, so if you got something out of this, I hope you did. I hope this kind of, you know, gave you some information and what have you. You know, if it didn't, I'm sorry, but, you know, there it is. So you guys have a good day. You know, like, subscribe, that sort of thing. And I will talk at you later. Bye.